What if I told you that one of the most important safety inventions in history, one that has saved over 1 million lives, was given away for free? This is the story of how a single car company made a decision that prioritized human life over billions of dollars in profit. Welcome to Repo. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 3-point seatbelt and the man who invented it. In the 1950s, driving was a fundamentally different experience. Cars were getting faster, roads were expanding, but safety was an afterthought. The most common form of restraint was a simple lap belt, a 2-point system that went across the waist. While it was better than nothing, this design had serious flaws. In a crash, it could cause severe internal injuries by concentrating all the force on the abdomen. It did little to protect the upper body, which would often slam into the steering wheel or dashboard. Car manufacturers knew this was a problem. They were experimenting with different solutions, but none were truly effective. Drivers found them uncomfortable, difficult to use, and often opted not to wear them at all. This is where our story begins, with a man named Nils Bohlin. Bohlin wasn't originally from the automotive industry. He was an aviation engineer, working for Saab in Sweden. His job was developing safety systems for pilots, including ejection seats. He was an expert in how the human body behaved under extreme forces. He understood the brutal physics of a high-speed deceleration better than almost anyone. In 1958, Volvo had a problem. The company's own president had a relative who died in a car crash, a tragedy that hit close to home and strengthened the company's focus on safety. Volvo's CEO at the time, Gunnar Engellau, decided to make safety the cornerstone of the brand. Engellau knew he needed the best mind in the business. He poached Nils Bohlin from Saab and appointed him as Volvo's first-ever chief safety engineer. His mission was simple but monumental: create a safety device that would actually save lives. Bohlin got to work immediately. He studied every existing seatbelt design and analyzed countless crash reports. He knew that the ideal seatbelt had to do two things perfectly. First, it needed to restrain both the upper and lower body. Second, it had to be so simple and easy to use that wearing it would become second nature. He quickly dismissed the more complex harness systems used in racing and aviation. They were too cumbersome for daily use. A driver needed to be able to buckle up with just one hand. After months of sketching, prototyping, and testing, Bohlin had his breakthrough. He combined the lap belt with a diagonal strap that crossed the chest. This elegant solution anchored the occupant at 3 points, creating a V shape over the torso. This design was revolutionary for a few key reasons. It distributed the force of a crash over the strongest parts of the body, the pelvis and the rib cage. The buckle was placed near the hip, where it was easy to reach and wouldn't cause injury. Most importantly, it was incredibly simple. One continuous belt, one buckle, and one fluid motion to secure it. This was the birth of the 3-point seatbelt as we know it today. In 1959, Volvo introduced this groundbreaking invention in its PV544 and Amazon models, sold in Nordic countries. It was a huge leap forward in automotive safety, but Volvo's vision was bigger than just protecting its own customers. The company's leadership, guided by Engelau's philosophy, came to a profound realization. This invention was too important to keep to themselves. It had the potential to save countless lives, far beyond the number of people who drove a Volvo. They were faced with a decision that would define their legacy. They could patent the 3-point seatbelt and license it to other car manufacturers, a move that would have undoubtedly earned them billions of dollars over the decades. Or, they could do something radical. They could give it away. In a move that is almost unimaginable in today's corporate world, Volvo chose to release the patent for free. They made the design open and available to every car manufacturer in the world. Their reasoning was simple and powerful: the value of human life was more important than any potential profit. They believed that everyone, regardless of what car they drove, deserved to be safe. This decision was not just an act of generosity, it was a strategic move to accelerate the adoption of a life-saving technology. By removing the financial barrier, Volvo ensured that other companies had no excuse not to implement the 3-point seatbelt in their own vehicles. Slowly but surely, the industry followed suit. Other manufacturers began incorporating Bohlin's design into their cars. Governments around the world took notice, and laws were eventually passed mandating the inclusion of 3-point seatbelts in all new vehicles. The impact was staggering. Studies over the years have consistently shown that wearing a seatbelt reduces the risk of fatal injury by at least 50%. It is widely regarded as the single most effective safety device in the history of the automobile. The World Health Organization estimates that seatbelts have saved well over 1 million lives since their introduction. And that number grows every single day, with every click of a buckle. Nils Bohlin continued his work at Volvo for decades, leading the company's safety division and contributing to many more innovations. He passed away in 2002, but his legacy is immeasurable. He created a device that is so ubiquitous we often take it for granted. It's a simple, everyday action, but it's an action that connects back to his genius and Volvo's incredible decision. So the next time you get in a car and buckle up, take a moment to think about this story. Think about Nils Bohlin, the engineer who solved the puzzle. And think about Volvo, the company that chose humanity over money, and in doing so, gave the world a gift that keeps on giving. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I did, make sure to subscribe to Ude Repo for more content like this. We explore the fascinating stories behind the ideas and people who shape our world.